Hello, Knights. Welcome to your 2019-2020 orientation video. Today we're going to be learning a little bit more about how to use your computers and to take care of them. So your procedures with your devices, you will need to join the RDV Google Classroom for your grade level. Your teachers will have the code for you to join. Then you will watch this presentation either individually or as a class, and then you will take the quiz. A link to the quiz will also be in the Google Classroom. You must pass the quiz at 80% or above, and in your Google Classroom it will tell you what you need to score on the quiz. You can take the quiz as many times as you need to pass, and if you're having trouble passing, please talk it over with your teacher before you take it an additional time. You will also need to turn in the computer-related paperwork that was part of your first day packet. Once you've turned in that paperwork and passed the quiz, then you can start carrying your computer around school. If you have been given permission to take home your device, you can check your device out. We'll talk about that later. Just know that you do not need to take your device home unless you need it for schoolwork and you have your parents' permission. So your procedures for getting your computer, you will pick up your computer every single day in homeroom. You'll carry it with you all day long, and then you'll return your device to homeroom at the end of the day. If you are someone who has permission to take the computer home, then you are able to check out that computer with your homeroom teacher and take it home for your schoolwork. Again, you're not required to take your computer home. Please only take it home if you need it for schoolwork. All right, so today we're going to cover 5 different areas, which we call CREST to help you remember: charging, repair, educational uses, storage, and troubleshooting. So when you're charging your computer, make sure that you are charging it in an area that is away from the edge of a table or a counter, as somebody can accidentally brush by there and knock that off. Also, be sure that when you are charging, the cord is not draped across open areas, or this happens. Awesome. All right. If you choose to take your computer home at night, you need to understand that bringing the computer back charged the next day is your responsibility. You can check out a charging cord from your teacher. Those might be kind of scarce for a while, but eventually we'll have enough cords for you to check them out. When you take it home, please talk with your family about where is a safe place for you to charge your computer. Should be away from small children and pets, someplace where the cord is not draped across an open space like we just saw, and somewhere away from the edge of tables and counters. Also be careful to keep your computer off the ground. These devices are small, and sometimes people don't see them and accidentally step on them. All right, so next is the R of our CREST presentation. What do I do if my computer is broken? So whenever you notice that there is something wrong with your computer, you need to tell your teacher immediately. And that is the teacher in whatever room you are in at the time you notice that there is damage. Your teacher is going to send you with your device to the library to complete an incident form. And in some cases, there may be a discipline referral that is associated with that. So if someone else has broken your computer, that other person is going to get a discipline referral. If you have continued incidences of just being irresponsible with your computer, you may end up with a referral as well. All right, continuing this. If parts become loose or fall off of your computer, keep all the parts and bring them to the library with you with your broken computer to fill out the incident report. Sometimes we can save money on the repairs if we have the parts that actually came off. If you lose or misplace your computer, tell a teacher immediately and then go to the office to report it as missing. You are not going to be allowed to leave your classroom to go and look in all of your other classrooms at that time. But what we do encourage you to do is, as you're moving, from period to period, make sure that you look in the classroom where you are at the time. I hope that makes sense. Maybe your teachers can explain that a little bit better, but we will not allow you to wander around campus, but please look in each class as you go throughout your schedule for the day. As we find your devices, we will get them to you. If you find your device, please go back to the office or to the library and let us know that you have found it. So how can you avoid needing repairs? The first thing that you can do is to keep your computer and your case clean. Don't eat over the top of your computer. Don't draw on your case or the card that is on the outside of your computer case. Always keep your computer and your case away from food and drinks. Avoid touching the screen with your fingers, or especially with like a pen or a pencil. That's really going to ruin your screen. Never store anything in the case except for the computer and maybe something like a pen or a pencil or some papers. But the more things you put in the case, the more pressure that's going to put on your computer screen, which can cause it to break. Be careful to never set anything on top of the case when the computer is in there. And be sure to always handle your device gently and carry it carefully. That includes lifting your device from the bottom when you move it rather than picking it up by the corner of the screen. We have a lot of screens that get broken that way, people picking up from the sides or the top of the screen. Always pick it up from the bottom. All right, next, the E. Your computer is a tool for school. You are to use it for educational uses only. So educational uses would be assignments, homework, research, class projects, things that are not allowed, streaming music or videos. So, some of you guys like to put on YouTube while you're working in class, and that is not allowed, and it's going to be a problem for you in the future. Downloading any apps, games, or music and or videos is not allowed. Downloading or taking pictures that are not school appropriate. So sometimes we have kids that take some pictures with the webcam that are not appropriate. Remember to always keep your password private. Never share it with anybody else, and keep it in a safe place that is not in the same location as your computer. Continuing with the idea of educational uses, each of you, as part of your first day packet, has signed what we call the Rio School District Acceptable Use Agreement. And so you need to follow that so you don't get into trouble. And let's go over some of those points now. So the Acceptable Use Agreement says that you basically waive your right to privacy or confidentiality. So what that means is that nothing you do on your computer is private. That device is provided to you by the school district, and so therefore the school district has a right to look at anything you're doing with your computer. So any adult on campus can look at anything you're doing with your computer, including your email, your assignments, your pictures. So you need to understand that none of that stuff is private. Make sure that you're storing only educationally appropriate material on your computers. Some people download pictures that are, not educational, and that can end up being a problem for you. You have also agreed that you will not intentionally access and store material that is related to anything obscene or offensive, any nudity, violence, or sex, any illegal activities, or anything related to alcohol, tobacco, drugs, weapons, or cheating. Now, if you accidentally come across a website like this and you move off of it very quickly, bring it to an adult's attention so we can understand why it's popping up for you, that's okay. But if we notice that you are intentionally accessing those sites, you can get into quite a bit of trouble. If you continually have problems in the areas that are described here, then you could lose the privilege of having a computer. Another big thing is that you will not use this technology to bully, harass, send offensive material, or cheat. Okay, next, the S of our presentation, storing your computer safely. The number one most important thing you can do to keep your computer safe from any kind of physical damage is to keep it zipped in its case whenever you are not using it. So a few of you on campus still have these old cases, and many of you have the new cases. Keep your computer in there. Take it out of the case when you're going to use it. Some people have gotten in the habit of using it while it's still in the case, and that can cause the computer to overheat. And then before you put it in its case again to travel from class to class, make sure you shut it down. Putting it to sleep is not good enough. It has to be all the way powered down. Otherwise, it gets in the case and it overheats, causing damage to the internal workings of your computer. All right, here are some common causes of damage which you can easily avoid. One place we notice the computers get damaged a lot is leaving it on the ground or on the PE fields or courts, so going onto the blacktop or into the fields with your computer. Storing your computer in tight spaces when there are extra items in your case. So trying to shove your computer case into your backpack when there's other things in the case can cause that damage. Running with your computer or being involved in horseplay, we tend to kind of lose grip of things, and those computers are the first thing to be damaged when they're dropped. Leaving your computer too close to the edge of a desk or table. Somebody walks by with a large backpack and it can get knocked off. Charging with the cord draped across an open area. Dropping or throwing your case instead of setting it down gently. And just as a reminder, never ever take your computers past the fence onto the blacktops or the fields. That's our number one place of damage is kids dropping those computers underneath the basketball standard and somebody tripping or bouncing a basketball on it. All right, so here are just some pictures of the places you want to avoid. So instead of taking your computers out here onto the fields and the blacktops, please go hang it on a hook outside of the classrooms. Next, this is an example of what can happen if you have your computer too close to the edge of a table. Someone comes by with a larger backpack, and there you go. Oh, look how surprised he is. All right. So where is it safe for you to use your computer? Obviously in your classrooms, in the library, you can use it at home in safe areas. Remember to just keep it away from food or drinks. Where is it safe to leave your computer? Obviously the hooks outside of the classroom are great places to leave it. So during lunch, you can put it on the hooks. If you are in 6th grade, you're going to be either leaving your computer in your classroom because you'll be returning to that classroom, or go drop it off in the class that you have after lunch. 7th and 8th graders, you guys, when you leave for lunch, can go hang your computers on the hooks outside of your 6th period class. No computers are to be taken into the cafeteria because we're trying to keep the computers away from food and drink. All right, next. Where is it safe for you to leave your computer before school? So before school, if you have access to the hooks outside of your 1st period classroom, you can obviously leave it there, or put it on the hooks outside a classroom that is close to where you are going to be. So if you're going to go out to the basketball courts, then leave it on hooks that are close to the basketball courts. You can leave them outside the gym or outside room 20 and 21. Just remember that they cannot go out on the blacktop. All right, so where is it unsafe for you to use your computer? In the quad, on the PE fields, anywhere basically where you do not have a cover, like one of the umbrellas over the tables or a roof, around food or drinks. whoops, let me back up one sec. Just remember that if you are in a class and your teacher is, asking you to go outside and use your computers, and that's okay. If the teacher is there supervising, that's fine, but just use these guidelines for any other time. All right. Where is it unsafe to leave your computer? Obviously, in a case with anything else other than just maybe a pencil and some paper, in a hot car, on the bus, in the bottom of your PE locker, with a friend, or basically anywhere that you are not, you should always have your computer with you at all times. So how else can you keep your computer safe? Please leave the barcode card on the outside of your case in place. Do not color on it. This is the easiest way for us to return your computer to you if you accidentally misplace it throughout the day. If you lose your barcode or it becomes damaged in some way, please go to the library and get a new one. For those of you that have the brand new cases, we are working on a barcode and name card for you, and we'll get those to you soon. Leave all stickers, tags, and barcodes on your computer. We have labels with your name and barcode. And again, if your case doesn't have a name or we find a computer without a case, we'll need the stickers that are on your computer to help us get it back to you. Always know where your device is located. Remember that it should always be where you are. Only carry the computer when it is zipped safely in its case. And when you're getting up to leave each class and leave lunch, just check, do I have my computer? And get in the habit, you pick up your backpack every time, pick up your computer every time too. Remember, do not loan your computer or let anyone else use it. So one of the things that we're trying to help you guys avoid is damaging your computer, because there are costs associated with damage to your computer. And here are kind of a general price range for you for each type of damage that we see. On back to school night, we will have people from our technology department here to talk to you and your parents about buying insurance for your computer, so that would help you avoid some of these costs. Also know that stealing a device from another student will result in suspension from school or a possible expulsion from school, and you may also be charged with theft. All right, so the T of CREST is for troubleshooting. So we encourage you guys to solve your own computer problems before you ask your teacher. So if your computer won't turn on, plug it into a charger and see if that helps. If you can't log in, check to make sure that CapLocks is turned off. Be sure that you have the internet on, and then type very, very slowly. If it doesn't seem to be charging, you can try a different charger or a different outlet. Other troubleshooting: if you cannot access the internet at school, make sure that you're connected to Wi-Fi. Sometimes the Wi-Fi just blinks out. And if you're having trouble connecting to Wi-Fi, go ahead and restart your computer. If you're trying to access the internet at home, talk to your parents about which Wi-Fi connection and password you're supposed to use. All right, so that covers our CREST orientation for the year. What we need you guys to do now is go ahead and join that Google Classroom and take the quiz. Remember, you must pass at 80% or above, and the score you need to pass is listed in the Google Classroom. Make sure you check your score. It will show you your score at the end of the quiz, and make sure you check so you don't have to go in and take it again. You can take it as many times as you need to pass, but if you're having a little bit of difficulty passing it, please have your teacher go through it with you. And that's it, guys. You've got to join that Google Classroom to pass the quiz or to access the quiz, and good luck.